Missing Misty in April.
Mhm.
Okay. Bedford, people have copies of the minutes.
We do have copies of meeting minutes from the prior meeting. They're all in front of you right now. And you probably were emailed a copy as well.
Yep.
And you all have an agenda in front of you.
Okay, do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes?
None.
None.
No, ma'am.
If not, then we'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Somebody write down. please.
I got you.
Got several of
Yes,
them.
yes, ma'am.
We got you covered, Luema.
Yes.
I don't think I could drive and do this at the same time.
You need one of them Teslas. Drive itself.
Yeah, I'm in a Dodge Charger, so that's okay. Okay, do we need to vote on accepting the minutes?
We did. We have a motion and a second.
Okay,
Recognition of guests would be next, and we have none.
0.
okay.
Reports from committees is next, and we have none.
On the road.
That's the first item on your agenda.
Uh-huh. Unfinished business.
Here we go.
Flash pad up.
Splash pad update. Okay. So today we had bids. Today was the deadline for the bids, and at 2:00 we opened up our one and only bid. And all the paperwork in the bid was acceptable. So I will present that to the commission tomorrow at the study session, and we'll vote on it Tuesday, and hopefully break ground in the next week or so. We're ready to move.
Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I think you all understand, this is the concrete and the plumbing underneath, and then the next step would be to build the restroom and the pump house on top of whatever this concrete, aside.
And hook up the
Next to
electric.
the splash pad. So, and we're working with other people on next steps on that, and Bedford probably told you, we submitted a really nice two restrooms and the pump house. You can't do anything less than that, so we have to build that larger restroom because of the grant. And so we will, and we're just gonna figure out that.
It's a nice building.
Concrete and the plumbing is
Is
our first sign of progress there.
is the light at the end of the tunnel, because that has to happen before we can do anything else. And the portion of it that we may be able to get some volunteers, community service out of is stuff like the construction portion of it. We all know people who can do construction work. Knowing people who could sink those nozzles into the concrete properly was a different story altogether.
Yeah.
And I feel like the bid was really good. I feel like the young man is working, he really wants to do the project. He's done a vortex project before in Franklin, so he's familiar with the equipment. Took it upon himself to reach out to Vortex before he even knew he had the bid to get the particulars on the equipment that we have. He's really gone above and beyond, in my personal opinion. It's going to be good. So that's about the only update I have right now, that we're moving forward on the splash pad. And the next thing, Luema, is going to be 2021 events.
Okay,
Okay? So 2021 events, I was hoping Misty would be here because we kind of postponed. We didn't really cancel the Daddy Daughter Dance. We just tentatively postponed it. Several events the same way. I wanted to do a snowed-in movie day in January, but, it didn't seem like it was the right time. Don't want to really let all that stuff go away. I'd still like to host all these things just in a different time frame now. Things in the weekend, opportunities for the community to gather. We'll need volunteers. Look to you guys for some volunteering whenever we do some of these things. But right now, I'm still at that COVID standstill, not a whole lot going on because of it, limited numbers, limited kids at the teen center, just everything's still really limited.
I think the lights at the end of the tunnel there too, though.
I hope so. I feel like, this,
The vaccination, we're expecting maybe April, May-ish.
the schools are fixed to take their second round. They called today to say they were pivoting to remote both Friday and Monday for the second round of the COVID vaccines for all the,
19th, whatever middle school.
I was gonna say,
19th
the,
and 22nd.
the 22nd is just the first round for the elementary.
No,
Okay.
which school, yeah.
good. Well, but they're moving forward with getting everybody vaccinated. So I'm with Kate. Hopefully there's a light at the end of that tunnel as well. And try not to let this year discourage me too much because I have a lot of plans for a lot of activity and we've had very little of it, so. But that's where I'm at right now in the 2021 events is I still plan on going forward with as many of the things that we had talked about early on in the year. I gave you that list of events I would like to do. It was just, ideas and suggestions, but something every month of some kind, where we host a community event where people can gather and participate in some kind of arts and craft or something. So that's it for the 2021 events update. Luema, the next thing will be park signs update. Of course, we all know we passed an ordinance that said it was okay to update the park signs and rules. I got 3 bids, 3 different companies, and the cheapest one I had was $168 a sign. And that's who we went with. That's GNC. They do the other signs for the city. So they're reflective paint, rounded corners. There'll be nice signs on metal, single-sided. And I gave them the PO for that yesterday. So they'll start that project pretty soon. And hopefully I'll have those up and in the parks, within the next couple of months.
Yes.
Have y'all seen what they look like? I'll show y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's, kind of what they look like. It's got
Oh, okay.
the name of the
You might
park.
have seen it, Miss Willie.
I have not.
Because they're just cast up maybe a month before you get appointed.
So, like Gardenia has 2 entrances, one on Tulip and one on Gardenia Street. I'll have a sign at each.
Okay.
And where the signs are currently located that specify the name of the park,
End it.
that specify the name of the park are really odd locations, like, the one where Howard Field is, and the one where Rotary Park or Halon Wall Park is. They're at the corners of the park, nowhere near the driveways. I'm also going to put one at Barker Brewer Field.
So this is my name. You see my name?
That's what she said.
Hey, Missy. Catch you up real quick because we just discussed some stuff that I think you might have some input on. It was the 2021 events, all the things that we've canceled and postponed. Daddy Daughter Dance being one that comes to mind. We didn't cancel, we just simply kind of postponed it, correct? Oh, I did bring you one. You thought of any dates for potential redo?
I think we just need to, we've had 3 positive cases.
So you're still thinking we're just tentatively on postpone?
Yeah, we got about 30, 35 high school kids quarantined out
Okay.
today.
And that's why I told them that we're staying postponed with all the other events. So
Yeah.
right now, we haven't canceled, we're just tentatively postponed. We have,
I think even if we have to shoot for in the fall. and
I'm good with it,
kinda
too.
have them Close,
I just think as long as we try to conduct some stuff as soon as we can, I'm game, okay? And then I told them that we, last pad, we took a bid today, and the park signs, the PO has been presented, and they are in process of making the new signs. So hope to have those up in the next month or so.
Then one bid, one from the board, or the commission next week.
Let them get caught up real quick.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Okay. The next thing on the list would be the Baseball Association update.
Sue's $158 a sign.
We've done a little study. I have some information that we're going to request an ordinance change on how we rent out the ball fields for people who are not using it for the trade-off of doing work like Dixie Youth does. Dixie Youth doesn't pay to use the field per se. They give $10 per head and they take care of the field and they do a wonderful job taking care of the field. So I hope to get with Howard Field. I hope that whoever takes over Howard Field will get it looking like it looks at Barker Brewer. Takes a lot of work off my plate. I sent Mr. Williams an email today. Hey, I know you were going to reach out to him as well. Did you ever hear from him?
I didn't hear from
Haven't had a response from him yet either. What his intent is, because just like Dixie Youth, I expect the same out of them as I do anybody who uses the field, which is, the appropriate paperwork, insurance, roster, a schedule, things like that, where I know how I can also use the field, because even though he's going to use it at no cost to take care of it like Dixie Youth, that still leaves opportunities for me to utilize the field in other events.
Right.
Which brings me to the next thing. I had told Hustle Factory when they asked me that we rented the field for about $200 per field, and we've come up with a study where we feel like a better average on that. And estimated cost we came up with was $243 with some change, so we'll round it up to $250 per field per rent, and that covers stuff like maintenance, the water, the poles, that the power, the
Electricity.
electricity, and the power poles. I mean, they get charged every month whether anybody's using the field or not. You know,
Right.
water, electric. So Hustle Factory has submitted all their paperwork for use of the field during the weekends during April, May, and June. They want to have a tournament every weekend. I talked to Cedric the other day as a Dixie Youth representative, and they still haven't gotten me anything. Now, Elston has been holding signups in the lobby on Wednesdays. I don't know where y'all are at, as how many kids you've gotten yet.
We have a meeting tonight, actually going to after this
Okay.
to get some numbers, but like it's been a slow go because of COVID. I mean, it really has, and we have a few signed up, but they're really wanting some older kids. We don't have many older kids signed up. We got a lot of young kids,
So they're asking to use it every weekend starting in April, which is right around the corner. Okay.
And weekends, do you mean like Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday?
Right now, they're tentatively speaking on about Saturdays with the possibility of Sundays. So we're quoting them that if we need to have advance notice of that, and that they will pay $200 per field per day, which puts Barker Brewer at $400 a day. You know, because they're two separate fields.
And
You know?
they're gonna have them maintained in the way they want them.
That's right. And they will take care of their own striping and their own stuff. You know, they're not asking anybody for any of Dixie Youth's stuff, simply to use the field. And I will recommend a similar fashion to what Misty does with the girls softball as far as concessions goes. I know concessions were offered to Dixie Youth and then feel comfortable that Dixie Youth doesn't want to do it. I know we've talked about other opportunities. Well, not really thinking that we're going to do it either, guys. But if Hustle Factory can do it, they can keep their stuff in a tote, like you said, the young girls do. And then whenever they leave Sunday and Dixie Youth takes over on Monday, their stuff will be in a tote. Dixie Youth just do the same thing on Friday nights when they get finished, put all their stuff in a tote and put Dixie Youth across it so that when they get there Saturday, they can use the concession stand as well. I got some wood for the dugout benches, and I know there's a lot of bags of stuff up there right now.
Field conditioner and chalk.
Have you seen the gravel?
Yeah, I
Gravel's
did.
been spread. I got the loads of gravel out there. And
We got
stuff.
some 4-wheeler riders out there. I was up there the other day. I was like,
Before
no.
the snow or after the?
No,
After they put the gravel down, I was like, no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do this.
yeah, if you see anybody like that, if y'all can give me a call, whatever time of day it is, I will make a beeline out there and try to catch them in the end.
Yeah.
You know, I got a guy who tries to do that in Gardenia Park on a regular basis. Mr.
Yeah.
Larry, gonna be down one day.
I know you're talking.
And I've talked to him twice now, and he keeps telling me that there's no sign up, but there's fixing to be.
Well, I know who did this one. It's Lee Williams' boy.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Now,
you do
they
that.
don't want to do concessions, and we could do that to get some more things for our splash pad.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm not opposed to us doing it.
Hey, little
It just require the initial investment,
Yeah.
and then, somebody to actually work it.
Well, if you can find out, because if they won't, we could do that to get stuff for our splash pad.
Definitely not opposed, Lynn.
Okay, you just let me know.
I will.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, so,
So is Hustle Factory out of Lawrence County?
Yes.
They're right in Summertown. I guess
Yeah.
it's
That's
that.
the building I see right now.
Yes.
There's one in Spring Hill,
There's
that
one.
way as well.
Okay.
But there's a factory north and south.
Yeah, right.
Is it franchise or?
Just, I think it's 2 guys. Yeah.
and they do tournaments, if I'm not.
Tournaments, they do training,
Yeah.
a little bit of everything. I mean, it's a good.
Perhaps have like an indoor facility that.
I've had 3 or 4 requests here lately to rent the ball fields for practicing, to use it for this. And right now, I pretty much will have both fields spoken for. Mr. Williams at Howard Field and Dixie Youth at Barker Brewer, which does not encompass the whole time. That's why it's
Right.
important that I get a schedule from the people who are using it free of charge for the maintenance they do. Still need to know your schedule. That way I can still utilize it in days when you're not. And I do think it's fair that the people who do use it take care of it, and treat it as if they had taken all the work. Because I know Dixie used to put a lot of time and effort out there, and I understand that.
And I think also, I don't know if this is in the contract, but I think it needs to be something worded where, like, kind of like with the community center, like inspection after the first tournament. If we think you've done what you need to, then you can have it for the second tournament. I don't think we need to sign off on
I agree with that.
all the
All of it.
tournaments the whole
2, 3
time,
months, yeah.
2 or 3 months especially. I mean, and people get lazy. The first tournament may be great, the second tournament may be
And
great,
just-
but by the 4th or 5th tournament, they're gonna get lazy.
And just tell them you'll have a random inspection and they won't know when it is.
Yeah, and I just,
That's a good idea.
kind of how to word that or word it.
We can make sure we get that worded properly in there, in the
One of the
ordinance.
things that I've done, there's actually going to be updating the current association ordinance to make it more readable, to make it more friendly, because right now it's very complicated to understand, it's kind of all over the board. I'm kind of putting it together so that it's clear. The other one that we're doing is for the ballpark race, and in that, I've included that, they have to actually sign off to rent the ball field on our code of ethics still, and in that code of ethics, that's kind of listed as things that they have to do. They have to make sure that they clean up, they have to make sure that it's reset and ready for the next day, otherwise they are in violation and they have.
And this gives us opportunity to, to not only bring business into town, because I know that'll bring a lot of outsiders in who will want to spend some money here, hopefully, but it also makes money for Parks and Rec in the city, so I think it's what we're supposed to do.
No, 100%. One question I would have about where's Baker? I don't know which, well, the upstairs, the scorekeeping, if they're gonna use that field, there has to be some work done on that floor up there.
The whole building is in,
So I don't know,
We're
like,
talking about Brewer.
yeah, Brewer, I don't know what, needs to be done for that, because
Okay.
only thing I think of about that, if someone does fall through that floor, insurance or liability that comes with that. That's the only thing I think of, because it's 8 with termites. I know that's something Thomas was going to fix, but that can get kicked a little bit down the road. They say I wouldn't.
Tyler and I talked last year about possibly hosting some kind of tournaments to raise money for the repair of that building.
Right.
Do we have any idea the cost to do it?
I would say I have no idea. I know pretty much from the ground up, all the wood's ate up. Is ate up. You walk in that top level and
You can't shut the
liable
door
fall through.
anymore.
You can't shut the door. The door's ate all out. I mean, it's a mess. And so and inside's not even finished out. It's just outside frame, and you can see the studs inside there. So it's not finished out. It's just kind of just put up quick. And I think if anybody using that field, might want to put some little time in there.
All the material though was purchased for that box.
Never would put it again.
No, it got stolen.
Ah. Yeah.
Like not too long back when they first built it.
Ah.
Like they had everything to finish it,
Okay.
but it got stolen out of the box.
Wow.
I mean, it would be nice if it was block on the bottom.
Yeah.
It'd be great. I know that's a huge expense opposed to the 2x4 plywood that's up there now. But that's part of the problem is the wood's just touching the ground.
Yep.
I mean,
That's it.
so
So can the bottom floor be used and not the top floor?
Yes, but like I guess for a scorekeeper or whatever,
it'd be
you're looking-
challenging.
Yeah, it's challenging. So
Because you're kind of, the way the bottom window is, you're really kind of sitting
Like,
almost
right
below
level. Yeah.
where you can see.
But I mean, if it's a safety thing, I've
Right,
had many
right.
moments where the person's sitting behind
Yeah, I will,
the fence of the catcher, doing their best
Because
to.
I mean, if all else fails, you can build a
Yeah,
table and make them set up and
Yeah.
get some
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get Steve to go out there with me and look at it.
Probably need a Band-Aid fix and then
Yeah.
a plan for the future.
For this year, it was what my intent was. Steve and I had talked about it already, about maybe getting me some assistance to fix the door, but I don't know that fixing the door is really, because it's open. I go by every day and sometimes the air conditioners were wide open up there.
So, but we could actually have the lifted table, they could do the scorekeeping and still operate a concession stand.
They stand on the other side.
on the other
Parker.
side.
It's fine. We're talking
I'm
about the,
picturing that right.
it's
It's
the,
two different
two different
fields.
ones, two different
Oh,
schools
okay. That's why.
Yeah.
I think it's one field.
No, what we're talking about for the old swimming pool used to be.
by the flagpoles there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, pictured right.
The bottom of that was actually built to be a concession stand as well.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and that bottom portion of the building was supposed to gonna be a concession stand, is what I
And that
heard at
kept
one
the kids
time.
from going.
But yes, I think we could
across the
probably,
road.
I think we could probably pull that off, Kate, this year by moving the scorekeeping device downstairs and just putting a table in there for, and make do with what we got this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
And,
have
We
to.
may have some bond money we can throw at it, to get that done.
Disc golf update.
disc golf update. Disc golf is going great. I've got holes 1 through 6, including tee boxes set up. I have received $1,400 from Murray County Visitor Center, and I purchased trees and bushes to plant as obstacles. At yesterday's leadership meeting, I dropped a bug in everybody's ear that I'm gonna need some assistance planting that stuff. We're hoping to get an auger that we can attach to one of the pieces of equipment we have, and other than that, I have a shovel. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Tree
baby.
planting morning.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to set that up. They made me a really great deal at Fernwood. They gave me 25% off of the 6-foot tall green giant. They're like Christmas tree looking trees. 5 flowering trees. They're giving me dogwoods and a bunch of bushes. And we will set bushes up behind the disc catching baskets. Of course, they're 3-gallon bushes. They're pretty good size today, but they're not gonna be taller than the basket today. The idea is as they grow, they'll become taller in the basket, and if you overshoot it, you can't see the basket anymore. Now it's another, more difficult,
Yeah.
it makes it more challenging. It was told to me when I started this project that it won't be near as much fun on year 1 as it is on year 10.
Yeah.
But if you can plant them and you give the visualization that you're flying between these 2 trees, even though today you could fly right over them, in a few years, you're not gonna be able to do so,
Right.
So, but it's really coming together good. The tee boxes look great.
Have you shown them pictures?
I have not. I can show y'all
They're
some.
Really, they look really good. He's done it all himself. Yeah.
Stacy Finley hosted an event at the community center back in December, or was it November? I think it was November.
Yeah.
But she bought a bunch of stepping stones and she bought a bunch of paint, and she had an open event in the West Hall where we had tables set up 6 foot apart. We would let you in and you could sit at the table and paint a stepping stone however you wanted to. We would display them about. Had them displayed at the community center ever since then. And I've used those in my tee boxes. I've used the kids' artwork in the tee boxes. It's really come out great. Let me show you.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's what they're kind of looking like. You can kind of see this.
Yeah.
And so did you say you had 6 of the 9
I
done?
had
and you're
6 of the
waiting
9
on
done.
the Cages on the others, right?
And the catch baskets on the other 3 are at Wellbright. They need to do repairs, and I talked to him today. He's gonna try his best to come to me this week. But things keep going the way they're going. I hope to have this all finished up by the end of March. All
That's
the
cool.
baskets and tee boxes done. Hopefully bushes and trees in the ground, and I have the materials at the community center that I've already purchased to build a kiosk board. And I'll hand paint a map of the entire course layout and put a little plastic piece on there. You can put the scorecards on it, complimentary scorecards, just little
Yeah.
pencils, so that you can have fun. What's that? I think we've emailed, have an email attachment that we were going to email this out to everybody as well with the 6 that I have done.
So it's Bedford's work, it's students' work, it's
Mhm.
kids' work. I think it's cool.
That was I've had several people refer to me different possibilities for tee boxes. In the original setup, we had the plastic edging that you'd use around with some mulch in it. After a few months, all it is grass. You can't even tell where it is. I was gonna go and pull it up, but I can't find where the tee boxes used to be. Think this will be better. I can weed eat around it. It's gonna require a little maintenance, the baskets and the tee boxes both will need to be manicured pretty, on a regular basis. But the other suggestions to me were very costly, and so far I've pulled all this off for about $70. Okay, so, of our money, so, the trees and bushes, like I said, were donated, so the tee boxes cost me about $70. And the other suggestions were poured concrete. I'm like, yeah, well, maybe another day.
Maybe in 10 years.
Maybe another day. Right now, this will work just fine. And I'm gonna make all my measures from behind the tee box, as far as from tee box to catch basket. And I'm gonna post that on the kiosk board, that all measurements are from behind the tee box, so that you really don't have to stand on it. You can stand behind it and fly your disc. It's not quite as accurate or as, I don't know, they're pretty. I talked to somebody at Ace Hardware yesterday, and they were at Woodland Park this past weekend, so there must have been 100 people out there trying to play disc golf. So I'm hoping we get a fair share of that here too.
Yeah.
I think we will, because every disc golf course, the most negative thing I hear about it is that it's in a multi-use park, which ours is as well. But I've designed ours with a no-fly zone, so that we have the swing set, the gaga ball pit, hopefully a basketball court, pavilion, and other playground equipment in the future will never be in the line of fire of a disc. Okay, you're always flying away from that area.
In Woodland Park,
Is-
they're always trying to avoid hitting kids. on
That's
the
right.
road.
And at this college, you fly it right out into the road. I know somebody who was driving by and the disc hit their car. So it's the same way it used to be at Haylong Wall, though. When you were flying towards basket one, you were flying right towards First Avenue, and if a car was coming by, you just ding it. That's just how it is. We will not have that problem anymore. Now, you might get your disc in the cow pasture. There might be a cow patty in the way, but I don't foresee any real hazards out there like I see at some other parks. I think it's going to be really good. I think people will really enjoy it. It's going to be quite a bit. There's going to be some good challenges already. There's 3 holes from the onset will be extremely challenging. The other 6 will have to grow into a challenge. That's all I got on disc golf.
So when we ever decide that we're done, we'll have a big ribbon.
A big
cutting
to-do.
here.
Yeah.
The schools would like to be a part. Mike Mitchell, the arts director for Murray County, is the one who set me up with Sean Sinclair. He is the disc golf course designer who came and looked at where the park was and looked at where I proposed to put it and gave me a lot of ideas. He's not very hip on multi-use parks, but he was okay with the fact that I created a no-fly zone and said, if I can't get the swing set moved and I can't make it a dedicated 18-hole golf course, then at least I took consideration of having a no-fly zone. So, but the school would like to be a part of our grand opening ceremony in some kind of way. The middle school has catch baskets there. They have a just golf course or class where they're teaching the kids how to play. And what better now, because they have 3 catch baskets, I think, and it's kind of haphazardly, not really a course. But once you learn how to play, now you'll actually have a place to play. So it's going to be good. I'm excited.
Nice.
All right, new business, Easter egg hunt.
And years past, Easter egg hunt was a chamber event. The chamber has asked us to take that over. And I told them, well, since we participated all the time anyway, that I would be glad to take it over. They're still going to help out with sponsorships and raising money. They have a bunch of stuff from last year where we didn't get to have it. They're going to send out letters already, if I'm not mistaken, the sponsorship letters.
We got ours yesterday.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So hopefully that all works out, but Easter's like right here. Now, this year being COVID, I elect that we do not do any of the games and that space painting and stuff that we've done in the years past. It'll be a short and sweet event this year. I have grandiose plans for next year. I would like to do it similar to the way we did Halloween and have a bunny trail. And at the end of the bunny trail, we will have an Easter egg hunt. Okay?
Next year.
Next year. And so this year, no games, no activities. You show up. I'm going to use the same area that we used for Halloween this year so that you can socially distance around that grassy area. You don't all have to be compacted in one area waiting for the Easter egg hunt to start. I'm going to still divide it into 3 sections per age group. And you can go on both sides. You can be on the driveway side or on the trail side. You can start from either side, okay? Get your eggs, collect your golden egg prize at the end of it, and let's be done with this for this year. Short, sweet, and simple. Let's let our kids have fun. Let's have an Easter egg hunt. Next year will be our year to really do a grand bunny trail. Liam and I've already had some talks about some ideas. I'll ask for the same sponsorships like we did at Halloween. For businesses come set up with a game, a candy giveaway if you'd like, face painting, things of that nature along the trail. And that way, it's the bunny trail. Yep. I think it'll be fun.
Will there be an Easter bunny there?
maybe if we can get Dakota to do that, like I know he's in the past has come and did it for the chamber events. I think, isn't
Done
that
it?
Dakota Lang, Kim's son? He's been the one who, isn't that correct? And he's who always in the suit?
I mean, if we have a suit, we could put
We
anybody
have
in it.
to,
Yeah. Do we have the suit? It's ours?
yeah, no, the chambers.
Oh, it's the chambers?
Chamber
Okay.
has a suit, so.
Yeah. I'm not sure how they, commission Dakota to do it, but if we have a suit, then yes, we
You
will
just gotta
get.
find a kid that wants to do it. I think might even giving them
I
50
think they
bucks.
get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I can definitely find someone to do that.
yeah.
I know several
Double
children these
check it,
days.
but I know that Denise said that they have a costume.
Okay, good. So yes, the Easter Bunny will be on site. We'll get somebody to be in there.
Well, I just know like at Christmas, it was difficult to find a Santa Claus that where the kids could actually take
Mhm.
pictures anywhere near Santa Claus.
Yes.
So there might be the same case for the Easter Bunny.
It might be for this year, but I think it'll,
Easter Bunny, it has the whole head.
He does have the whole
Yeah,
head
that's what I'm
thing.
thinking, that would be
I think
great.
it might be okay, Missy, for him to wander around the trail. Yeah, like I
I
say,
mean, maybe
Well, I
not
mean,
take
at
it.
the Halloween thing, Philip had the fire truck there. so-
yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, even just for a few pictures.
Well, even though it's
And
different,
that
than-
might be something, that could be a moneymaker for us too, to do a picture with, $5 picture with the Easter Bunny or.
Yeah. and I think, like I said, in next year's event, this year I'm gonna get the sound system out and I'm gonna tell people to please stay socially distanced, take advantage of both sides of the trail. Apologize for no games and activities this year, but due to COVID, please wear your mask and stay socially distanced. You can line up by your age group. I'll have it marked on the chalk on either side of the grassy area. So you all, because in the years past, everybody gathers right there in that one little area. And all the parents and stuff are all packed on that sidewalk. This year you can spread around. I don't have to have every parent in the same spot,
Are we working on a flyer for that?
We need a date for that.
It's
April 3rd.
It's April 3rd. Yeah, they sent out the information. I thought that the chamber would get.
It's definitely April 3rd.
April
And then
3rd.
another thing we need is get on social media and kind of explain what the event's
Okay.
about. And then we need to make sure the city gets the grass all cut.
Yes, I'm on top of that already.
Good deal.
Yeah.
so what time do you need us to help you?
The event historically has been 10 o'clock is what time the Easter egg hunt happened. And we had fun games and activities for like the hour prior, So this year, we're going to just suggest that you show up at 10 o'clock. The Easter egg hunt will happen directly thereafter. And it'll be over just as quick as it started because it only takes them about 5 minutes to get the eggs picked up. So this year won't be a long
I'm saying,
event.
when do
We
you,
don't have another recreation meeting between now and
No,
then.
so
I
what
would
time do you
say,
need us there to help you put eggs out?
I'd say if you, I'm going to be there by about 9 o'clock.
The Bastion's got some stuff to donate.
And we'll
to, though.
probably send emails out to you guys.
And the fire department has historically been there every year, so, I mean, even though we're not doing fun and games, the fact they rope it off for me, y'all can still do that, Philip? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like we'll have the same city involvement that we've had in years past. That's what led me to believe this was okay for us to take this over from the chamber. We always had police and fire and parks and rec there already, The chamber just got the credit for throwing the event, now we'll get it. Okay, and we'll make it great in the years to come.
Okay, questions for survey?
So, we didn't have another 5-year strategic plan because the last time we had our meeting, we discussed pretty much, well, that we needed to have something like the town hall meeting where we had the first 5-year strategic plan, which is kind of hard to do that this year. So we have a survey platform where we can send out a survey, and before I just went rogue on you guys, I thought I'd get some input from you, What do you think the question should be? Do you just want me to put, what would you like to see from Parks and Recs in the future? And like we did on the post-it notes, that's what we asked for people in the years past was put what you'd like to see from Parks and Rec on this post-it note and put it on this easel that we had up there. And then we took all the post-it notes down and we gathered the ones that said dog park, the one that said splash pads, the one that said more baseball fields, football fields. And the ones that were the most repetitive were dog park and splash pad. Those are the two events or two projects that we're trying to get accomplished now. Dog park, of course, is, I don't know if y'all can witness it one day, how many people are actually there, especially when it's nice weather. Like
Oh,
last
it's lovely
night, it
day.
was dark and there were still people out there at dark, But the sign says it's open from 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it went 8 p.m. last night. And they had their headlights pointed out on the field. And I was like, I'm going to get a complaint, I'm sure. But it's heavily, heavily used.
It is.
So it definitely was a good project. I think the splash pad will be heavily used if we can get it finished.
For sure.
For sure. So as far as the 5-year strategic plan, guys, if, I know y'all all had the rough copy that I had, which was pretty self-explanatory. I've got it pretty much well broke down. If y'all could have me
Is
some,
it easier if we kind of create some questions and send them to
I would like,
feedback on, or?
I would like to get some input from somebody, because otherwise then I'm taking, people are in my ear all the time about what they'd like to see. Okay, so, and I'm taking that information and I put it in here, but as far as having it in that format, I don't have. Just daily, someone says, hey, I'd like to see this, hey, I'd like to see that, hey, why can't y'all do this, hey, why can't you do that? So,
Is this something we can put out on social media and get a response to?
well, we have
I
a,
think you need to create the survey.
yes, we have a Survey Monkey platform that allows us to send out a survey in format, and then I can put it through social media, and then you can fill out the survey and it'll come back to me.
Well, it's anonymous, but you can post it everywhere. and
Yes.
Fill it out.
Well, just being a person who received a lot of surveys, you're not gonna get a lot
If you
back.
posted something on Facebook that said, hey, comment here, what would you like to see?
Exactly what I
And
want
let
to
them
see.
comment, you're gonna get a bigger response. But once I start reading them questions, I'm like,
But Donna
I'm
just
out.
recently did one and she got over 100.
yeah, but
But we're a city of 5,000.
But I mean, she just had a smaller audience.
Mhm.
It was
There's a Main Street
it was a Main
survey.
Street survey.
It was just
130 responses. I thought was pretty
It
good.
was,
And can we not
Businesses.
create something on our Park and Rec page and say, okay, look,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then have it in one central location
Short
and
and
say, this
sweet.
is what we
Yeah.
need, and then they can comment on that
I
versus
think-
having
I
to do
think
a survey.
comment Based on, I think a comment.
we'll get you more
Get you a
responses.
lot.
so, and are y'all in
And
agreement
then
then?
I can share it, you can share it, you can, and then we can
Like,
collect.
what's your priority?
Yeah.
Is that what you're, but that's what I'm trying to, is that, because the survey is more question, like you said, is it just a simple question? What would you like to see?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yes.
think that's, because that's what we did the last time.
It
and
is.
That's what we got, where did we start? last?
So one question or like 2 and 3?
Just one.
I'll
I would
do one.
say
What would you
one
like to
question.
see?
What would you like to see, or what is your number one?
What's the one thing you would like to see out of Parks and Rec? That way you don't have a list of stuff.
Right.
It was the one thing you would like to
It
see.
could be cut the grass.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, there were some of those cleaner parks. I mean, that was one of the, it was high on the list,
We
cleaner
can take
parks.
them all and sort them and then get some ideas from that. But once you start asking people to answer a survey, they get
Or you
to
can
like
do
the
a
third
second
question.
click,
they're
or
like,
like click on the
Don't make me feel, just give me multiple choice. You make me feel
No.
something and I'm moving
You're
on to
out.
the next question.
And I don't like those
True.
where it's like, 1 to 5 and you gotta,
No.
So that's why when I started this, before I had some information I was gonna bring you out, and I feel the same way, because I stopped. I was like, I'm not doing all this because I was asking, based on 1 to 5, 5 being great, 1 being, how would you feel
Yeah.
about this?
Once you
How
say
would you
that
feel
word,
about
Yeah.
that? And I was
Yeah.
like, this is gonna take me forever.
I'm
I feel
out.
like I'm not doing this survey.
And the only negative thing is you'll get some people that just say, it's horrible.
I'm sure.
And that's fine, we'll stick those.
And they're the people that don't go to the parks. So we want to talk to the people that goes to the
Goes to the
parks.
park.
And I've started seeing a little activity. There's people asking for event request forms to do things at the pavilion. Had a birthday party at Halon Wall over the weekend. Things are starting to happen again. It's that time of year, and grass is starting to need, it's growing.
People is wanting out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Say it again.
People is wanting out of the house.
People are wanting out of the house, and there's no doubt about it.
Because the first middle school softball game, they said the crowd was unbelievable. We had our first middle school baseball game last night, and
Yeah.
you couldn't sit nowhere.
People are ready.
You've trapped us like rats for too
Yeah.
long.
Yes, so like people was eager to get out of the house.
And I just want to make sure they have a nice clean park to which to do it in, and it seems like after this past summer, the trash in the parks, people have responded to me about how great the parks look, that they look much cleaner, they're more welcoming. I would like to see us continue, like after I get the signs, at some point in time, I'd like to landscape around them a little bit, make it all pretty, that it's warm and inviting. It says, welcome to our parks, not enter at your own risk.
I'm scared.
Yeah, that's good.
You got anything else?
I
We
do-
also need to just, every time there's safety grants, I think we should be applying
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yes, lights, cameras,
And
yes.
real quick before we move out of here, there was a list that I found in Thomas's old stuff about getting things ADA compliant at the center. And I think that it was supposed to be done by a certain time frame. I don't think I'm going to make that because I just found it the other day.
You got 10 years.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have to submit your plan.
Oh,
how
okay.
you're going to get ready in the next 10 years.
okay.
Yeah.
At the center, it's not a lot of stuff to really do to get some signs need to be lowered for the most part, you know, things like that. But the same thing with our parks, there's some ADA issues at Rotary Wall Park. I mean, if you want to watch somebody play baseball at Rotary Park and you're in a wheelchair, good luck, you know?
Oh, yeah, almost parking, all, even Gardenia, how are you gonna get out in a wheelchair and roll around?
Right.
Yeah, at Gardenia, at least if you're on the parking pad, you can't get to the bathroom if you're handicapped, and the handicap accessible door handles on there. So, you know, there is something, you couldn't do a whole lot more than that, you know?
No,
Right.
Aero Mines, if you go there and you're in a wheelchair, at least you can get to the pavilion because there's a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So at least there's a couple of parks where if you are handicapped, you can be somewhat involved.
Right.
But at Halon Wall, it's out of the question. You can't get to the pavilion, you can't get to the playground, you can't get to the baseball field, period, if you're ADA handicapped. Yep. So something we need to consider moving forward. Just in my
And I think
5-year
those
strategic
things
plan.
mandatory, I think there'll be grants.
Yes, and I have looked for some grants, a couple of grants real quick before we leave. I know, Linda, you're
I'm starving, I couldn't eat a drink
the
today.
Lowe's is offering a grant right now, and it's a hometown community project. I think anybody can apply for it. You just got to go on and tell me what you'd like to see and why you think your hometown deserves it. We've done it a couple of,
With the dude, you know,
I think it's like, I think it's,
Due date on it.
Yeah, I didn't-
On it for
oh, it's just like round.
Yeah.
Kane Brown is not actually involved with it. Kane Brown worked at Lowe's in Chattanooga, okay? And Kane Brown has asked Lowe's to give to the Boys and Girls Club in Chattanooga through this grant. So he requested the grant, just like any of y'all can request this grant, just like I can request it. Philip, Kate, we can all request it for different projects. There's a lot of money that Lowe's has. They're giving away. I think it's $2 million, and they're breaking it down into like $25,000 increments. So a lot of money to be given away, you know. So yeah, I filled it out a couple times today for a couple different projects.
Can you send us a link to
I
it?
can. I'll send you all the
Send us a
link.
Let us fill something.
I will send y'all all the link, and you know, you can ask for improvements to the ball fields. There's lots of different things, and why you think your town deserves that. You know,
Are they
and
awarding it to governments or anybody? Or-
I think it looks to anybody, doesn't it?
Anybody can apply, like when you go, like you could select if you were applying personally or if you work there, you're an employee or.
And not only will that do for a new project, but will help you finish an existing project.
Are we better off doing one for what we all agree on, or everybody submitting different requests?
I don't know. I thought about that same thing, but in the reason, that's why I'm not trying to keep you starving, but those are some of the questions I have as we apply for these grants, you know. I don't know. I mean, I know there's a desire to have stuff at Gardenia. Rotary could use stuff, the walking trail at Rotary. I found an RTP grant about walking trails. I'm writing on that today as well, to hopefully get a walking trail at Rotary Park. You know, but that's a good question, Kate. I don't really know.
We'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just send
But
them-
it's definitely, there's grant opportunities starting to rear their faces, and I'm gonna make sure we apply for it, all and everything. The worst that we can get told is no.
Right.
You know, the best again, might get some money. Yeah. I got the money from, Murray County Visitor Center.
The Lowe's grant is today through April 19th.
yeah.
Okay. So we have
If you go to
some
Lowe's,
time.
if you go to celebrating 100 years, celebrating 100 hometowns and commitment to give back with 100 community impact projects nationwide, today through April 19th. Nominate a hometown project in need for a chance to secure a grant that will make a difference.
Sounds like we need to have one project at every nominate.
Okay.
And you said it's up to 25,000, that's what you read? Nick?
No,
It's 100 hometown.
Yeah.
project.
they have different scopes, depending on your scope of your project.
$10
They have,
million
Dollars.
commitment.
Oh, sweet.
So it doesn't really say exactly, just they're given 100 hometowns, so I guess it could vary
Yes.
how much you
Need back
get.
to.
you ask on if you go through it, they fill out a portion of it. When you get to the portion about your project you're asking for, it asks you to estimate the cost of it. If it's between 75 and 100, 125, 125, 150,
$500,000. I would
Yeah.
send it out and send it to Donna too.
yes. So, and like I said, the RTP, the trail grants, so there's lots of things starting, and just because they're not state of Tennessee grants doesn't mean we shouldn't apply for it. Like Blue Cross Blue Shield, we've applied 3 years in a row. We'll apply, next time they open it up, we'll apply again. We'll keep
Okay.
applying.
Participants must be 18 years or older and can nominate up to 2 unique projects each.
Yeah.
So I think maybe more the merrier.
That was my thought process, is the more entries you have, the more opportunities they have to be considered, was what I thought. But I don't know, that might not be,
Well, I had looked at the
Yeah.
link.
They
That
will be
sounds great.
announced June 2021.
You gotta upload
And
3
your
pictures.
project must be, the project's expected to be completed by the end of the year. So something that you can complete this year.
We can finish parking lot over.
we ain't paid the parking lot in a year. It was some say, that's why I thought, that would be a good opportunity, because
And then maybe multiple projects.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah,
We can
I
get
feel like
a,
everybody has a different need.
Yes.
And you may see something more of a need in the community, I may see something else.
Mhm.
And they may not like mine, but they love yours.
Mhm.
So if we just stick with one.
Or people might not apply and they've got all this money and they may do all of them.
they might do, well, like I said,
Well,
they
it's
might,
not a very long turnaround.
Right.
It's a very short-
so.
I think it just came out.
It did. We just were, I have people or my eyes and ears, and I get told everything right quick.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Right quick. Which I'm grateful. Look, guys, I'm grateful because I can't see and hear everything. And as a board, I'll let you up to, like I said, Larry hugged me down to tell me about the guy in the 4-wheeler. He found me, but I've talked to him twice now. So we're trying to prevent some things from happening, but I don't know. Let you tell me. Yeah. I have nothing else.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. A second. All in favor?
Ah.
Here you go.
Did you sign?